The luxurious Wilson estate was brightly lit. Tonight was the 70th birthday celebration for Mrs. Wilson, the matriarch of the family. Many grandchildren and in-laws presented gifts. Grandma, I heard you love tea. This century-old tea is worth $500,000 and is my birthday gift to you. Grandma, I know you're a devout Christian. This crystal cross is carved from pure obsidian and is worth $700,000. Mrs. Wilson looked at the various expensive presents and laughed, filling the whole family with joy. At that moment, Mrs. Wilson's eldest grandson-in-law, Charlie Wade, suddenly said, "Grandma, could you lend me $1 million? Aunt Lena from the orphanage has kidney failure and needs money for treatment." The entire Wilson family was stunned. Everyone stared at Charlie in disbelief. Was this live-in son-in-law out of his mind? It was Mrs. Wilson's birthday. Not only had he not prepared any gifts, but he even dared to ask her to lend him $1 million? 3 years ago, the late Mr. Wilson had found Charlie from who knows where and insisted on marrying him to his eldest granddaughter, Claire Wilson. At the time, Charlie was penniless, much like he was now. After the two got married, the old master passed away. Since then, the Wilson family has been deliberately trying to drive Charlie out. But Charlie seemed indifferent, unmoved by their insults. So he had remained the live-in son-in-law all this time. Asking Mrs. Wilson for money now was an act of desperation. Aunt Lena from the orphanage that had taken Charlie in needed dialysis and a kidney transplant, which would cost at least $1 million. He really had no choice but to ask Mrs. Wilson. He thought that since it was her birthday, she might be in good spirits and willing to help. Unexpectedly, Mrs. Wilson's laughter vanished in an instant. Her face darkened as she threw the teacup in her hand to the ground and shouted angrily, "You bastard! Are you here to celebrate my birthday or to borrow money?" Charlie's wife Claire hurried forward and explained to Lady Wilson, "Grandma, Charlie is ignorant. Don't be upset." She then tried to pull Charlie aside. At that moment, Claire's cousin Wendy sneered, "Sis, look at what kind of trash you married. Gerald and I just got engaged, and he already gave Grandma an obsidian cross. It's hilarious your husband didn't bring any gifts and still has the nerve to ask Grandma for money." "Exactly, Charlie, my man. We're both son-in-laws of the Wilson family." As the eldest, you're a real failure," remarked Gerald White, Wendy's fiancé and the young heir of a wealthy local family. Although Gerald was about to marry Wendy, he felt her looks paled in comparison to Charlie's wife, Claire. Claire was a renowned beauty in Oris Hill, but seeing her married to this worthless, broke man really irritated Gerald. "This kind of trash should be kicked out of our family as soon as possible. Yeah, he's completely ruined the Wilson reputation. I bet borrowing money is just an excuse. He really wants to purposely ruin Lady Wilson's birthday celebration." Charlie couldn't help clenching his fists as the entire Wilson clan targeted and insulted him. If not for his savior's medical expenses, he would have turned and left this gaudy, fake place. However, remembering his late father's teachings to always repay kindness, he suppressed the humiliation and said to Mrs. Wilson, "Grandma, saving a life is more virtuous than any gift. Please show mercy." Someone snorted coldly. "Wade, quit trying to guilt-trip Grandma. If you want to save someone, figure it out yourself. Don't make Grandma pay for your hero complex. Who do you think you are?" It was Wendy's brother, Harold. The siblings always resented Claire for outshining them and loved seizing chances to mock Charlie. Claire said, "Grandma, Charlie lost his dad at 8. Aunt Lena from the orphanage raised him. He just wants to repay her kindness. Please help him." Mrs. Wilson replied darkly. Help him? Fine, but only if you divorce him and marry Mr. Jones. Do that, and I'll give him $1 million immediately. She was referring to Wendell Jones, who had been pursuing Claire. The Jones family was upper class in Orris Hill, much more influential than the Wilsons, and Lady Wilson always wanted to curry their favor. Just then, the butler ran in, announcing loudly, Mr. Jones sent a birthday present, a turquoise amulet worth $3 million. Mrs. Wilson was overjoyed and blurted out, Bring it here quickly, let me see. The butler immediately handed over a stunning turquoise amulet. Everyone present gasped in amazement. The amulet was a vivid shade of blue-green, crystal clear without any impurities, and looked like a genuine top-quality piece. Gerald, who had gifted the obsidian cross, looked a bit awkward seeing this amulet. Unexpectedly, Wendell, who had no real connection to the Wilson family, had been so generous. Mrs. Wilson happily played with the amulet, saying merrily, Oh, Mr. Jones is so thoughtful. Oh, if only he could be my grandson-in-law. It would be a dream come true. She then looked up at Claire. What do you say to my condition? Will you consider it? Claire shook her head. Grandma, I won't divorce Charlie. Mrs. Wilson's expression instantly darkened. She angrily cursed. Don't give me that attitude. You insist on clinging to this trash. Get him out of my sight. He's not allowed at my birthday banquet. Charlie was completely disappointed. He had no desire to stay with the Wilsons any longer. He said to Claire, I'm going to the hospital to check on Aunt Lena. Claire hurriedly replied, Then I'll come with you. Mrs. Wilson snapped, If you leave too, I won't consider you my granddaughter anymore. Take your parents and get out of the Wilson house with this loser. Claire looked startled, not expecting such harsh words from Lady Wilson. Charlie quickly said, You stay. Don't worry about me. Before Claire could respond, he turned and walked out. Harold laughed behind him. Oh, my dear brother-in-law, you're leaving hungry. Are you going to beg on the streets for dinner? Don't completely ruin our family's reputation. Here, I've got a coin. You can buy a sandwich to eat. He took out a coin and threw it at Charlie's feet. The entire Wilson family burst into laughter. Charlie gritted his teeth and left without looking back. Rushing to the hospital, Charlie immediately went to the billing office, wanting to inform them that the payment for Aunt Lena's medical expenses would be delayed by another 2 days. However, when he asked the nurse, Charlie was suddenly told that Aunt Lena had been transferred overnight to the best hospital in Eastcliff. Shocked, he hurriedly asked, How much does it cost? I'll find a way to pay. The nurse replied, A total of $3 million is needed. $1 million has been paid, but there's still a gap of $2 million. It's due in a week. Who paid the first $1 million? Charlie asked. The nurse shook her head. I don't know. As Charlie was trying to figure it out, he turned and saw a man in a black suit with gray hair, about 50 years old, standing behind him. The man bowed and said, Young master, you have suffered for so many years. Charlie frowned, his demeanor changing. He asked, Are you Stephen Thompson? The man replied, Mr. Wade, you still remember me? Charlie's expression froze. He murmured, Of course I remember. I remember every one of you. Back then, you forced my parents to take me and flee Eastcliff. During that time, they died unexpectedly, and I became an orphan. So why are you looking for me now? Stephen said remorsefully, Young master, when your father passed away, Mr. Wade was also extremely sad. He's been searching for you all these years. Now that we've found you, he wants you to come back with me. Charlie said, You can go. I will never see him again in my life. Stephen asked, Young master, do you still blame Mr. Wade? Of course, Charlie replied, emphasizing each word. I will never forgive him as long as I live. Stephen sighs. Before I came, Mr. Wade said you might not forgive him. At least he's self-aware, Charlie scoffed. Stephen continued. Mr. Wade knows you've suffered over the years. He wants to compensate you. If you don't want to return, he'll buy the largest company in Oris Hill and give it to you. He also asked me to give you this card. The password is your birthday. He handed over a platinum card. Mr. Wade, there are only 5 such cards in the country. Charlie shook his head. Take it away. I don't want it. Stephen pressed. Mr. Wade, for Miss Lena, you still have a shortfall of $2 million in medical expenses. If you fail to pay, her life may be in danger. Charlie frowned. Are you deliberately trying to manipulate me? Stephen quickly said, I wouldn't dare. If you accept this card, it will be more than enough to pay the medical expenses. Charlie asked, how much money is on this card? Mr. Wade said this card is just a little pocket money for you, not much. It has a total of $10 billion. $10 billion? Charlie was stunned. He knew his grandfather's family was wealthy, but as a young child, he had no real concept of money. He only knew the Wade family was one of the top families in Eastcliff and the country. However, he never knew exactly how much they were worth. But now he understood. $10 billion was just pocket change. When considering the entire Wade family fortune, it was likely over $1 trillion. To be honest, Charlie was deeply moved. But thinking of his parents' deaths, he felt his grandfather couldn't shirk the blame. He couldn't forgive him. Stephen saw Charlie's inner conflict and quickly said, Master, you are the heir to the Wade family. You deserve this money. Strictly speaking, it belongs to your father. Mr. Wade said if you're willing to return, you'll inherit the family's $1 trillion estate. If you don't want to go back, this money is for your living expenses. Oh, and Oris Hill's largest company, the $100 billion Emgrand Group, was acquired by the Wade family yesterday. All the shares are now in your name. You can go to Emgrand for the handover tomorrow. Charlie could hardly believe it. The Wade family's investment was huge. A $10 billion premium card and the $100 billion Emgrand Group? Although Oris Hill had its share of hidden talents and quiet power players, the only true powerhouse was Emgrand. Any family, including the Wilsons and Whites who humiliated him today, and the Joneses pursuing Claire, were small fry compared to Emgrand. It was the emperor of Oris Hill's business world. And unexpectedly, it was now his? Stephen handed Charlie a business card. Mr. Wade, you may need some time to process this. I won't bother you further. Here's my number. Please call if you need anything. With that, Stephen turned and left. After Stephen left, Charlie remained in a daze, unsure if he should accept the Wade family's compensation. But thinking it over, considering the humiliation he'd endured for the past decade, especially from the Wilsons, wasn't this payment from the Wades fair recompense? Why shouldn't he take it? Moreover, Aunt Lena urgently needed $2 million for her medical expenses. Mind made up, Charlie gritted his teeth and returned to the hospital's billing office. Hello, I need to deposit $2 million. He swiped the card and entered the password. The transaction went through, and the $2 million was easily credited to the hospital's account. Charlie felt like he was in a fog. Had he really become a billionaire just like that? He headed home, still in a muddled state. Claire and her parents no longer lived in the Wilson villa, but in a very ordinary apartment building. They'd been driven out after Claire married him, following Ben Wilson's death. His mother-in-law was yelling, "That good-for-nothing Charlie, he made us lose face today. Claire, if you don't divorce him, your grandma will kick you out of the Wilson group." Claire replied calmly, "Then I'll find another job." Her mother snapped, "What's so great about that loser? Why can't you divorce him and marry Wendell instead? If you wed Wendell, our family can hold our heads up high." Claire's father chimed in. "She's right. Marry Wendell and will instantly become treasured in your grandma's eyes. She'll be falling over herself to curry favor with you every day." Claire stood firm. "Don't say another word. I won't divorce Charlie." "You stubborn child," her mother fumed. The two had just managed to persuade Charlie inside when they saw him. Both his father-in-law and mother-in-law had sour expressions. His mother-in-law snorted coldly. "A worthless piece of trash, and he has the nerve to show his face." Charlie sighed inwardly. His mother-in-law had always looked down on him. But what would she think if she knew he was now the boss of the M. Grand Group with $10 billion in cash? However, Charlie wasn't ready to reveal his identity yet. He'd been away from the Wade family for many years. Who knew what the family was like now? What if someone in the family were against him if he exposed himself? Better to keep a low profile for now. So he lowered his head and said apologetically, "Mom, I'm sorry for causing you trouble today." His mother-in-law scolded. "You're more than trouble. You're killing the three of us. Can't you be a little self-aware and get out of our house?" Claire quickly interjected. "Mom, how can you talk like that? Charlie is your son-in-law." "Bullshit," her mother retorted bitterly. "I don't have such a worthless son-in-law. The farther away you go, the better." Claire pushed Charlie. "Hurry, go to the room." Charlie nodded gratefully and fled to their bedroom. He and Claire had been married for 3 years, but never truly together. Claire slept on the bed while he slept on the floor beside her. That night, Charlie couldn't fall asleep for a long time. The day's events were shocking, and it would take a while to process everything. Before bed, Claire said to him, "How is Aunt Lena? I still have over 100,000 in personal savings. You can take it to her tomorrow." Charlie replied, "No need. Someone already paid for Aunt Lena's treatment and sent her to East Cliff." "Really?" Claire said in surprise. "So she is saved?" "Yes," Charlie said. "She has done good deeds and helped so many people throughout her life. Someone finally repaid her kindness." "That's good," Claire nodded and said to Charlie, "You can breathe a sigh of relief." "Yeah." Claire yawned. "I need to get some sleep. The company has a lot going on lately, and I'm exhausted." Charlie asked, "What's happening at the company?" Claire explained, "Business isn't great. Grandma has always wanted to partner with a big corporation like the M. Grand Group, but the Wilson family is much weaker in comparison. People look down on us." Charlie suddenly thought of M. Grand and asked, "The Wilsons have no cooperation with M. Grand?" Claire laughed at him. "How could the M. Grand Group ever consider working with us? Even Wendy's fiancé Gerald and his family barely measure up to M. Grand's standards. Grandma is counting on them getting married so the Whites can help the Wilsons connect with M. Grand." Charlie nodded. So that was the Wilsons' plan. They were dying to work with M. Grand. However, Mrs. Wilson was dreaming if she thought it was possible. Little did she know, he now owned the M. Grand Group. With that in mind, Charlie decided to take over M. Grand first, then give Claire a boost through the company. She had been bullied too much by the Wilsons. As her husband, it was his responsibility to help improve her standing in the family. Starting today, her husband was a changed man. He would never let anyone look down on her again. He vowed to make the entire Wilson family bow before her. Early the next morning, after Charlie finished cooking, he rode his little electric scooter to the M. Grand Group headquarters. He parked the scooter next to the company parking lot and had just locked it when a black luxury car slowly pulled into a space opposite him. Charlie glanced up and saw a young man and a woman exiting the car. The man was dressed in a high-end, stylish suit, while the woman was pretty in a slightly gaudy, coquettish way. It turned out to be Wendy and her soon-to-be fiancé, Gerald White, the eldest son of the wealthy White family. Charlie wasn't sure why they were at Grand, but to avoid trouble, he quickly tried to slip away unnoticed. Unfortunately, the sharp-eyed Wendy spotted him immediately. "Oh, brother-in-law," she called out in an overly cordial tone. Despite wanting to escape, Charlie had no choice but to stop out of courtesy. As the two approached, he forced a smile. "Wendy, what brings you here?" Wendy giggled. "Gerald and I have a meeting with Doris Young, the vice chairman of the Grand Group." She gazed at Gerald admiringly. His family has a lot of business with Grand. In the future, it'll benefit not only the Whites, but the Wilsons, too. This was news to Charlie. He'd only just inherited Grand and hadn't had time to familiarize himself with its dealings. But he hid his surprise and said smoothly, "You two make a perfect power couple. Beautiful and talented." Gerald looked at Charlie with contempt, feeling the injustice of it all. Just yesterday, Mrs. Wilson had cursed out this good-for-nothing man, and now here he was, grinning like an idiot. How could a stunning woman like Claire have married such a useless loser? If it weren't for him, Gerald would have pursued Claire relentlessly. How could he have ended up engaged to Wendy, who was inferior in every way? The thought irritated him, so he deliberately asked, "Group 4, Charlie." Charlie replied casually, "I'm looking for a job." "A job?" Gerald sneered. "To apply here." "Do with you." Wendy chimed in, eager to join Gerald in mocking him. "Is he wrong, though? Do you even have a diploma to your name? Any accomplishments besides being a good-for-nothing? The Grand Group wouldn't hire a waste like you even as a security guard. If you had any self-awareness, you'd go pick up trash on the street. At least you could make 2 or 3 grand a month." She tossed her empty drink bottle at Charlie's feet. "Hey, don't say I never look out for you. Pick that up and sell it for cash." Gerald smirked. "Even if you are garbage, you're still family, so I'll help you out. I happen to be friends with Grand's vice chairman. Why don't I put in a good word and have her set you up with a job, cleaning toilets?" Charlie smiled coldly. "The kind of job I'm after is none of your concern. Worry about yourself. Grand is a major corporation. Like you." Gerald's face reddened with fury. "Who are you calling trash?" "You, obviously," Charlie said with disdain. Done with the conversation, he walked into the Grand Tower. "Hey, stop right there," Gerald shouted, chasing after him. He caught up at the elevators, itching to teach the arrogant jerk a lesson with a few slaps to the face. But seeing that they were already inside the company headquarters, Gerald worried that causing a scene would anger his business partners. He had to shelve his plan to put Charlie in his place, at least for now. Gerald gritted his teeth. "I'll let it slide today, but you won't be so lucky." Charlie snorted coldly as he stepped into the elevator. "You think you're some big shot, Gerald? Believe me, you'll soon learn the price of arrogance." "Pfft. Screw you," Gerald spat, moving to follow him. Wendy pulled him back, her voice dripping with contempt. Don't take the same elevator as that trash, honey. You might catch his stench. Nodding, Gerald realized he couldn't do anything here. He said icily, I'm letting you off the hook for now. Watch yourself next time. Charlie took the elevator straight to the top floor chairman's office. Stephen had already made the arrangements, appointing a woman named Doris Young as Charlie's main point of contact. Doris was a well-known figure in Oris Hill, the city's most famous career woman. Beautiful and exceptionally capable, she had risen to become Emgrand's vice chairman at a young age, playing a key role in the company's success. With Emgrand now acquired by the Wade family and the former chairman stepping down, Doris had stayed on to assist the new boss. She was shocked when she saw how young and handsome Charlie was. Quickly composing herself, Doris said respectfully, Mr. Wade, please come to my office. This was Charlie's first time meeting too. In her late 20s, she had a gorgeous figure, alluring beauty, and a noble I won't be coming to Emgrand often in the future. I want you to take charge of the big picture here, and don't reveal my identity to anyone. Doris could tell that the young man before her came from an extraordinary background. To his family, a company like Emgrand was mere pocket change. It made sense that he wouldn't want to manage it personally. She hurried to assure him, Of course, Mr. Wade. If you ever need anything, just let me know. Just then, a female secretary knocked and entered. Miss Doris, a man named Gerald White is here with his fiancée to see you. I'm with an important guest. Have them wait, Doris instructed. Charlie asked, Do you know this Gerald? His family is one of our business partners, Doris explained. They rely heavily on us. They've visited several times, always saying they want to strengthen ties. Eyes cold, Charlie declared. From now on, Emgrand will have zero dealings with the White family. Suspend all current and upcoming collaborations. If they earn even a cent from us, you'll be packing your bags, Vice Chairman. Doris paled, realizing instantly that the Whites must. She nodded vigorously. Don't worry, Mr. Wade. I'll give the order. Cut ties with them completely. Good. Tell them Emgrand doesn't work with low-quality trash. Then have security throw them out. Outside, Gerald and Wendy waited, eager to cozy up to Doris and make the White family a strategic partner of the powerful Emgrand group. To their shock, Doris's secretary arrived with several security guards. Will Miss Doris have time to see us? Gerald asked hopefully. The secretary gave him an icy look. I'm afraid not. Deputy Doris says Emgrand will not be cooperating with low-quality trash. Effective immediately, we're canceling all joint projects with your family. What did you say? Gerald was stunned. Why did that sound so familiar? Then it hit him. Charlie had said the exact same thing to him in the parking lot. What did Doris mean by this? Why would M. Grand suddenly cut ties with the White family? Gerald's brain couldn't process it. Terminate all cooperation just like that? Over half the White family's profits came through M. Grand. Losing that partnership would slash their strength in half overnight. Refusing to accept it, he shouted, "I want to see Miss Doris. I demand to speak with her face to face." The secretary replied coldly, "I'm sorry, but Vice Chairman Young will not be seeing you. You are banned from setting foot in M. Grand Tower from now on." "Is this some kind of sick joke?" Gerald seethed. "We're M. Grand's long-term partners. You can't just end things out of the blue." Ignoring him, the secretary turned to the guards. "Escort them out." The head of security grabbed Gerald's wrist and wrenched it behind his back. Gerald yelped in pain as the man barked, "You heard her. Get lost. If you keep making trouble, we'll be forced to take more drastic measures. You're just a security guard. How dare you yell at me? Do you have any idea who I am?" The words barely left Gerald's mouth before the guard's palm cracked across his face. "I don't care who you are, punk. Here at M. Grand, you're nothing." Gerald reeled from the stinging slap, his cheek on fire. He was about to explode with rage when his phone suddenly rang. It was his father. "Gerald, what the hell did you do?" The older man roared as soon as he picked up. "M. Grand is severing all ties with us. Who did you piss off over there?" "Dad, I swear I didn't offend anyone," Gerald said, his voice pained. "I just came to see Miss Young, but they wouldn't even let me meet with her." "Well, M. Grand says they're dropping us because you're a worthless piece of trash. The family is going to take a massive hit thanks to you. Get your ass back here and explain yourself to your grandpa. Now." Shell-shocked, Gerald let the security team hustle him out the front gate. A horrible suspicion began to dawn on him. He turned to Wendy, asking shakily, "You don't think... Could this have anything to do with your loser brother-in-law? Does he have some kind of connection to M. Grand?" "What?" Wendy was taken aback by Gerald's words. Thinking it over carefully, it might indeed be related to her deadbeat brother-in-law. However, he was obviously a loser. Shaking her head, she said flatly, "How could he have anything to do with M. Grand? He's not even qualified to clean their toilets." "You're right," Gerald nodded. Remembering his furious father, he added sullenly, "I better get home fast." News of M. Grand cutting ties with the White family spread like wildfire through Oris Hill. Though no one knew the exact reason, it was clear the Whites had royally pissed off M. Grand. The fallout was catastrophic. The White family's strength plummeted by over half, dropping them from near the top tier to the bottom rungs of the second tier. When old Mrs. Wilson heard, she shook with rage. She wanted to annul Wendy's engagement to Gerald, but realized the Whites, while weakened, still outclassed the Wilsons. Offending them would be disastrous. Bitterly, she shelved the idea for now. Meanwhile, in Doris's office, Charlie reviewed what had just transpired. He was quite impressed with her handling of the situation.
"Doris, you did an excellent job," he said.
"Starting today, I'm doubling your salary." Doris leaped up and elated. "Thank you so much, Mr. Wade." Charlie nodded. "I also have 2 announcements I need you to make. First, announce the change in M. Grand's ownership and the appointment of a new chairman. Don't reveal their full identity, just that their surname is Wade. That's all anyone needs to know. Second, announce that M. Grand is investing $2 billion to build a 6-star hotel in Oris Hill. We'll be accepting bids from local construction and decoration firms to partner on the project. The Wilson Group's main business was interior design and decoration. Lady Wilson dreamed of hitching their wagon to M. Grand's star. Whichever company won that contract would become the darling of their industry. Now that Charlie owned M. Grand, of course, he'd throw some juicy benefits his wife's way. The two announcements from Emgrand Group rocked all of Oris Hill. Hearing that Emgrand had changed hands, the Wilson family was dying to know why the White family had been kicked to the curb. It seemed the group's mysterious new owner looked down on even top-tier families like the Whites. But who was this Mr. Wade character? Just how loaded was he? Emgrand was worth hundreds of billions. Buying and selling on that scale dwarfed even the wealthiest tycoon in Oris Hill. Countless families scrambled to get in Mr. Wade's good graces, hoping to marry off their daughters to this enigmatic billionaire bachelor. On top of that, Emgrand's plan to invest $2 billion in a new hotel had the city's entire construction and design industry frothing at the mouth. $2 freaking billion! Even a few leftover scraps from that juicy pie would be a windfall. Companies were falling over themselves for a piece of the action. Naturally, this included the money-hungry Lady Wilson. She was practically giddy with excitement. What an incredible opportunity! If the Wilsons could snag a contract, it would rocket them straight to the top. She immediately ordered a family meeting that evening at the estate to strategize how to get their foot in the door with Emgrand's huge project. Attendance was mandatory. That night, the Wilson family gathered at their luxurious villa. Since Lady Wilson demanded everyone's presence, Charlie tagged along. He knew the scheming matriarch was angling for a slice of Emgrand's huge deal. He figured this was the perfect chance to give his wife Claire a nice status boost. The second he walked in with Claire, her douchey cousin Harold sneered. "Well, well, Charlie, you sure got some brass balls showing your face in front of Grandma again." Claire shot him an icy glare. "Can it, Harold? Grandma said the whole Wilson family had to be here tonight." "In case you forgot, Charlie is my husband. That makes him part of this family, like it or not." "Only half the family," Harold scoffed. "Let's be real, cuz. He's just a freeloading live-in son-in-law." Charlie turned to Claire, touching his nose. "Never mind him, honey. Don't waste your time. Let's head in before we keep Grandma waiting." Claire nodded, not giving Harold another glance as she walked inside with Charlie. Harold's face darkened watching them go. They'd see soon enough. In the conference hall, Charlie and Claire found seats in the corner. Mrs. Wilson soon took her place at the head of the table, banging it for attention. "For years, the Wilson family has been waiting for a golden opportunity," she declared with gusto. "One that could make us the wealthiest clan in Oris Hill. At last, that chance has arrived." She continued forcefully. Emgrand Group just announced a $2 billion project. Whichever company lands a partnership contract stands to profit hugely. Plus, this is Emgrand's first major deal since the ownership change. It's a perfect opening for the Wilsons. If we can collaborate with Emgrand and impress their mysterious new chairman, the sky's the limit for our family's future. Despite Lady Wilson's energy, the room seemed underwhelmed. Truth was, the Wilsons had been angling to work with Emgrand forever, and for just as long, Emgrand had snubbed them completely. What were the odds they'd get a piece of this huge new project now? Met with stony silence, Mrs. Wilson snapped, "What? Cat got your tongues? Don't tell me you're not confident we can score even a tiny slice of a $2 billion pie." Everyone exchanged nervous glances, no one daring to speak. Her anger rising, the iron-willed matriarch declared through gritted teeth, "All right, I'll lay it on the line. Whoever brings in the $30 million partnership with Emgrand gets named the new director of Wilson Group." End of story. Stunned faces gaped back at her. Mrs. Wilson had always ruled with an iron fist, never appointing an official successor. The director role wielded immense power, all but securing its holder as the future head of Wilson Group. Dangling the position as an incentive showed how desperately Lady Wilson wanted in on Emgrand's deal. But as juicy as the director spot was, winning it seemed impossible. The Wilson clan all knew that securing the deal with Emgrand was a pipe dream. Emgrand's execs wouldn't give Mrs. Wilson the time of day, let alone agree to a partnership. The meeting hall fell into uncomfortable silence. No one willing to chase a prize so laughably out of reach. Seeing their hesitation, Mrs. Wilson demanded, "You're all part of the Wilson family. Don't you want to do your part to help us succeed?" She zeroed in on Harold. "Harold, I'm putting you in charge of this." Harold laughed nervously. "Grandma, the M. Grand Group just cleaned out Gerald's family, and they're way stronger than us. How are we supposed to land a contract with them?" "Idiot," Mrs. Wilson snapped. "Giving up without even trying? You're even more useless than Charlie." Deep down, the Iron Lady was sick of settling for second-rate status. She dreamed of catapulting the Wilson family to the next level, and this M. Grand project was their one shot. No matter how difficult, she refused to let it slip away. She'd assumed Harold, as the eldest grandson, would jump at the chance to prove himself. His spineless refusal infuriated her. Harold felt trapped. Who in their right mind would take on such an impossible task? M. Grand's people would probably boot him out the door. He'd fail miserably and become the laughingstock of Eris Hill. No way in hell was he agreeing to that. After ripping Harold a new one, Mrs. Wilson barked, "Anyone else have the guts to step up and take this on? Speak up!" Charlie gently elbowed Claire and whispered, "Babe, you should volunteer for this." "Are you nuts?" Claire hissed. "There's no way M. Grand would partner with some small-time firm like us." Charlie just smiled, confidently. "Trust me, you can totally land this deal." "Wait, seriously?" Claire asked, surprised. "Absolutely," Charlie assured her. "I have total faith in you. Seize this chance, and your status in the family will skyrocket." Though perplexed, Claire found herself believing him. Almost in a trance, she stood up and declared, "Grandma, I'm willing to give it a shot." Claire's declaration left the entire Wilson clan dumbfounded. They all thought she'd lost her mind. Talk about a death wish, hogging the spotlight like that. What could possibly come from it besides utter humiliation? M. Grand Group was the biggest conglomerate in Eris Hill. What would they want with some small fry like the Wilsons? Anyone volunteering for this guaranteed train wreck was doomed to fail. Harold couldn't resist mocking her. "Claire, you seriously think you have a shot at landing a contract with M. Grand?" Wendy joined in, sneering. "Get real, Claire. You know your place, and you know where M. sits. Strolling in there half-cocked is just going to drag our family name through the mud." Another voice chimed in, "Totally. When M. Grand throws her out on her butt, the Wilsons will be the laughingstock of the whole city." Claire's cheeks burned with embarrassment. Ever since marrying Charlie, her standing in the family had plummeted. She felt increasingly sidelined, nearly pushed out entirely. Even her parents were targets of constant ridicule. Deep down, Claire hoped scoring this M. Grand project would cement her position and let her parents hold their heads high again. But now, getting raked over the coals by the whole clan, her confidence wavered. She shot Charlie a pained look. Why had she let him talk her into this? If she'd known it would blow up so spectacularly, she never would have stood up in the first place. Hearing their snarky commentary, Mrs. Wilson seethed with rage. After repeatedly pleading for someone to step up, no one had the guts. Now that Claire finally volunteered, these ingrates were dumping ice water on her head. The old matriarch had never been Claire's biggest fan, but at least the girl was trying to help shoulder the burden, unlike the rest of these spineless clams, especially Harold. Her darling grandson had really let her down this time. With that, Mrs. Wilson's attitude toward Claire shifted dramatically. "Enough!" she barked. "Since the rest of you are too chicken to try, shut your mouths. Claire will be the one to handle negotiations with M. Grand Group. End of discussion." Claire swallowed hard. "Don't worry, Grandma. I'll give it my all. I promise." Harold scoffed under his breath. "What's the point? You're just going to crash and burn and humiliate the family." Charlie shot back, "Geez, Harold, why so negative? You don't think the Wilsons are good enough to partner with M. Grand?" Caught off guard that Charlie dared speak up, and seeing Mrs. Wilson's darkening expression, Harold backpedaled. "That's not what I meant. I just don't think Claire has a prayer of pulling this off." "All right then," Charlie grinned slyly. "How about a little wager? If Claire manages to open negotiations, you get down on your knees in front of everyone and knock your head on the floor 3 times, admitting you were dead wrong. But if she strikes out, I'll do the groveling. What do you say?" Harold barked out a laugh. "You're on, loser. No way I'll lose to a piece of trash like you." Charlie nodded, looking smug. "Okay. The whole family is witness. If either of us welches, we're basically wishing death on our parents and grandparents." Knowing Harold wouldn't dare back out if it meant cursing his beloved grandma to an early grave, Mrs. Wilson would have his head. "Fine by me," Harold crowed, oblivious to the trap he'd just walked into. In his mind, losing was impossible. "Y'all heard it. Get ready to watch this bum kneel to me." Claire was stunned. She kept signaling Charlie with her eyes to drop it, but he paid no attention. Mrs. Wilson couldn't care less about their little pissing contest. Her sole focus was getting the Wilsons on M. Grand's partner list. If Claire pulled that off, she wouldn't even blink if Harold had to call Charlie Daddy. "Enough," she declared. "Claire, you have 3 days to land that contract. This meeting is adjourned." Back home, Elaine and Jacob laid into Claire and Charlie. "Have you lost your mind, young lady?" Elaine ranted. "Letting that good-for-nothing fill your head with crazy talk." Jacob joined in, berating his son-in-law. "Charlie, you wastrel. You doomed my little girl with your idiocy." Jacob continued angrily. "If she can't even get her foot in the door with M. Grand, the family will ice her out for sure. And you worthless sack of crap, will have to get on your knees and grovel to Harold in front of everybody. You want to see her lose everything?" Charlie replied firmly. "Listen, Dad, Mom, if Claire can just open a dialogue with them initially, it'll solve all our problems." "Shut your trap," Jacob snapped. "M. Grand Group is way out of our league. Why would they even give us the time of day?" Unfazed, Charlie smiled. "Maybe they will. Who knows? I truly believe Claire's got this in the bag. She'll bring home that contract. Guaranteed." Elaine's nostrils flared as she sneered at him. "Oh, you think so? What are you, the frickin' chairman of M. Grand? Quit talking out your butt, you useless turd. Shut your pie hole already." Seeing their relentless attacks on Charlie, Claire, "Mom, Dad, this isn't his fault. I'm just sick of being looked down on. Haven't we eaten enough crow over the years?" Elaine shot back. "Then you never should have agreed to this. Forget you. Even if your grandma herself showed up, M. Grand wouldn't give her the time of day." Charlie watched the absurd scene unfold with a wry smile. His snobby in-laws would never believe the truth, even if it slapped them in the face. He was the chairman of M. Grand Group, for crying out loud. Just then, there was a knock at the door. "I'll get it," Elaine huffed, pulling it open. In waltzed a snazzily dressed young man in a designer suit, sporting a luxury watch that had to be worth at least a few million. He was the total package: looks, style, the works. "Well, if it isn't Wendell," Elaine gushed. "What brings you here?" This was none other than Wendell Jones, scion of the powerful Jones family and Claire's longtime admirer. Flashing a megawatt grin, Wendell explained, "Hey, Auntie, word on the street is Claire's spearheading the M. Grand partnership. I'm here to offer my expertise." "Oh, you're a lifesaver," Elaine practically swooned, welcoming him in like a conquering hero. "So, Wendell, got any bright ideas for helping Claire land this contract?" Wendell nodded confidently, completely ignoring Charlie, who might as well have been an ant on the sidewalk. He made a beeline for Claire, giving her a suave smile. "Claire, I'm a little hurt you didn't loop me in on this, but don't worry. My company has an in with M. Grand. I'll have my dad pull some strings, go to bat for you 100%. In reality, Wendell's father wielded nowhere near that kind of clout. This was all a ruse to impress Claire. She'd always sensed his underlying agenda, so her reply was frosty. "That's very kind of you, Wendell. I appreciate it, but I'll handle this myself."
Are you out of your mind, girl?
Elaine sputtered in disbelief. "Wendell is graciously offering to help, and you give him the cold shoulder?" Claire fell silent, but Charlie piped up, clearly amused. "Color me curious, Mr. Jones. What exactly can you do to grease the wheels? M. Grand Group is a massive conglomerate. You really have the juice to get Claire that contract?" Wendell scoffed, oozing disdain. "Oh, please, what do you know? The Joneses and M. Grand go way back. We're tight as ticks. A third of this $2 billion deal is earmarked for us. I'll have Dad carve out a few million from our cut and subcontract it to Claire. Just like that, mission accomplished. She delivers the goods to her family." "Well," Charlie feigned astonishment, "I had no idea your family was so deeply entrenched with M. Grand." "Damn straight," Wendell declared smugly. "Everybody who's anybody in Oris Hill knows the Jones name is synonymous with M. Grand Group. We're in lockstep." Wendell turned to Charlie with a sneer. "Listen up, chump. Stop holding Claire back like some bottom-feeding toad in a well. A loser like you can't give her anything. You're just a roadblock to her success." Claire's voice was pure ice. "Excuse me, Mr. Jones, but I don't require your assistance, and you will not disrespect my husband." Flabbergasted, Wendell sputtered. "Are you kidding me, Claire? I'm throwing you a lifeline here, and you're still defending this man? What could he possibly offer you?" "He is not worthless," Claire declared firmly. "He is my husband." Wendell was seething now, his face twisted in fury. "Fine then, look a gift horse in the mouth. We'll see how well you manage this mess solo. When it all blows up in your face, don't come crying to me that I didn't throw you a bone." He whipped around and stormed out, slamming the door so hard it rattled. Elaine moved to chase after him, but he was long gone. Smacking her thighs in frustration, she rounded on Charlie, jabbing a finger in his face. "This is all your damn fault, you useless sack of crap! The only thing you're good for is screwing things up for her! Mr. Jones was going out of his way to extend an olive branch, and you had to piss him off!" Charlie just shrugged, Mom, he was all talk. The guy can't even snag a deal with Emgren himself. How's he supposed to bail out Claire? "That's bullcrap, and you know it!" Elaine practically screamed. "The Joneses have a third of Emgren's business in their pocket. Shows what you know, you ignorant turd!" Internally, Charlie scoffed. He was intimately familiar with the Jones family's capabilities, or lack thereof. One thing he knew for dead certain: Emgren Group would never partner with the likes of them. And even if, by some crazy fluke, Emgren and the Joneses had done big business in the past, well, that train was about to go off the rails permanently, starting now. Of course, Claire was oblivious to her husband's train of thought. She turned to her irate mother, trying to smooth things over. "Mom, don't take this out on Charlie. I'll handle it when I meet with Emgren, okay? We can talk after." "God give me strength!" Elaine groaned dramatically. It was just her rotten luck to be saddled with a deadbeat husband, only to watch her daughter follow suit. The unfairness of it all. At the crack of dawn, Claire gathered up the partnership proposal she'd slaved over all night and headed to M Grand Tower with Charlie in tow. Gazing up at the imposing 100-story skyscraper, the sheer absurdity of her mission over her like a tsunami. How could a juggernaut like M Grand Group ever take the Wilson family seriously? And to waltz in, expecting to walk out with a cool $30 million? It was like a panhandler showing up at the chairman's mansion demanding a mega jackpot. Still, a promise was a promise. She'd given her word to Grandma in front of everyone and their mother. Backing out wasn't an option, even if it was a kamikaze run. Charlie picked up on her jangling nerves. He reached out to smooth an errant lock of her hair, his touch soothing. Relax. You've got this. They'd have to be idiots not to see what an asset you are. Claire managed a strained smile. From your lips to God's ears. Hang tight, okay? I'll be back. Squaring her shoulders, she sucked in a deep breath and marched through the gleaming doors of M Grand HQ like a soldier hitting the front lines. As she vanished inside, Charlie fished out his cell and fired off a call to Doris. Hey, Claire just headed up. You know the drill. Not a problem, Mr. Wade. Doris assured him crisply. I'll roll. Mrs. Wade will get the deluxe treatment. Oh, one more thing, Charlie added, his tone sharpening. What's the deal with M Grand and the Jones crew? Doris didn't miss a beat. I won't lie, there's major history there. The Joneses are champing at the bit to hop on our new project bandwagon. I've got their pitch sitting on my desk. But at the end of the day, you're the boss. I follow. Charlie's reply was pure ice. The Joneses are persona non grata. No way in hell are they getting within sniffing distance of this deal. And if they think there's a future with us, they can keep dreaming. M Grand and the Jones family? Game over. Consider it handled, Doris vowed. Meanwhile, Claire approached the reception desk in the cavernous lobby, steeling herself for a hard sell. She wasn't holding her breath that Doris Young, the vice chairman, would even agree to a face-to-face. After a few minutes, is eager to see you. Right this way, please. Claire nodded, puzzled. She was still in line, waiting for her appointment. Why the special treatment all of a sudden? Did Doris know she was coming? But that made zero sense. How would a big shot like Doris even have her on her radar? Claire was stumped, but she wasn't about to look a gift horse in the mouth. Opportunity was knocking, and she was answering. She scurried after the assistant, who ushered her directly into Doris's sprawling office. The moment Claire crossed the threshold, Doris sprang up from behind her gleaming desk. The vice chairman here at M Grand Group. Face to face with Oris Hill's most powerful woman, Claire's stomach was doing somersaults. The pleasure's all mine, Miss Young. I'm here to discuss our hotel renovation bid. I know the Wilson family isn't exactly in your league. In the remodel gambling business. Nobody can touch our quality and hustle." Her hands shaking a bit, Claire thrust out a glossy folder stuffed with papers. "Here's our company overview and references. If you could just take a quick peek." Doris accepted the package. Skim. "I've heard great things, Miss Claire. Honestly, I think M. Grand and the Wilsons would make a dynamite team." Claire nearly fell over. "For real? You're not kidding?" It couldn't possibly be this easy. Where was the catch? "Absolutely," Doris confirmed, still smiling. "I won't pretend the Wilson family quite meets our normal partnership criteria. But our chairman? He's over the moon about you, Miss Claire. He's eager to work together." "Your chairman?" Claire parroted blankly. "And who might that be?" Doris's smile turned cryptic. "Oh, just someone from the Wade family. Goes by Wade." "Wade?" Claire frowned, perplexed. "Funny, I don't know any Wades. Well, except my husband Charlie." Doris just nodded, her expression giving nothing away. Charlie had been crystal clear. His identity was strictly hush-hush. She couldn't say more even if she wanted to. But Claire? She was drawing a total blank. Besides her spouse, she wasn't on a first-name basis with any Wades. The mere idea that her chronically unemployed husband might be connected to the upper crust of Eastcliff? Totally laughable. Doris glanced down at the paperwork. "So, Miss Claire, it looks like your proposal is aiming for a $30 million partnership, is that right?" Claire nodded so hard she nearly gave herself whiplash. "Is that asking too much?" Her voice was barely a squeak. A tiny smile played at the corners of Doris's mouth. "Oh no, not at all. In fact, it's not nearly enough." Claire felt like she'd stepped into the Twilight Zone. "I'm sorry, come again?" Doris's smile widened. "Our chairman's orders. He insisted on $60 million, minimum." She produced a thick legal document with a flourish, sliding it across the desk to a dumbstruck Claire. "I took the liberty of drafting the contract. You'll see, the grand total comes to $60 million, on the nose. If everything looks good to you, we can ink the deal right here, right now." Claire was reeling. This had to be a fever dream. M. Grand. The Wilson family, the time of day, was not only rolling out the red carpet, but supercharging Grandma's wildest fantasies. 30 million? Chump change. They were getting double that. Claire kept hunting for the catch, the trapdoor, the hidden camera. This couldn't be real life. Suddenly, a light bulb went off in her head. Last night's briefing. How Charlie had practically strong-armed her into taking point on this pitch. He'd been so certain, so damn sure she'd crush it. And then today, right before she'd marched in to beard the lion in its den, when her nerves were shot and she was practically shaking, he'd been cool as a cucumber, smiling, confident, almost like he'd known, before she had. Before anyone. Just who was her husband, really? And what did Charlie know that she didn't? At that moment, an unbelievable thought crossed Claire's mind. Could the Wade Doris mentioned be her husband, Charlie? But then she dismissed it, feeling it was Charlie grew up in an orphanage. But besides Charlie, who else in the world would treat her so well? $30 million was a pipe dream, but they directly offered her $60 million. She couldn't help but ask Doris, Miss Young, may I ask, is your chairman's name Charlie?" Doris sighed internally. The young boss had ordered her not to reveal his identity and had only permitted her to say his last name was Wade. If his wife guessed it, wouldn't she be in trouble? So she said quickly, "Miss Claire, please don't ask any more questions. Our chairman comes from a very prominent Wade family in Eastcliff. His identity is highly confidential, and I don't have the right to disclose it. Claire nodded slowly. The mention of a prominent Wade family from Eastcliff brought her back down to earth. Charlie was an orphan. He couldn't possibly be from some famous family. It seemed she was just letting her imagination run wild. When she came out of Doris's office, Claire was still in a daze. In her hand, she held the $60 million cooperation agreement between the Wilson family and the Emgrand Group. It all felt like a dream. At the gate of the Emgrand Group, Claire saw Charlie and ran up to him excitedly. "Charlie, I actually did it!" Charlie smiled to himself. "Of course you did. Your husband is the boss of the Emgrand Group. How could you possibly fail?" However, he pretended to be surprised and said, "You managed to land such a difficult project? Honey, you're truly amazing." Claire said, "Oh, it wasn't because I'm amazing. It was simply a gift from the Emgrand Group." "What?" Charlie asked, feigning curiosity. "Why do you say that?" Claire was afraid that if she mentioned the chairman of the Emgrand Group, Charlie would get jealous, so she quickly said, "Oh, it's a long story. Let's go to the company now and tell everyone the good news." Charlie laughed and said, "Okay. This time that jerk Harold will have to honor our bet and do some serious bowing and scraping." Claire nodded. "He's always so arrogant and looks down on everyone. He deserves to be taught a lesson." In reality, Claire had a temper of her own. She was sick and tired of people like Harold looking down on her and her husband. Now that she had secured the deal, she was ready to put them in their place. A little over 10 minutes later, the two of them arrived at the Wilson Group. In the meeting room, everyone in the Wilson family was looking at them strangely. They all knew Claire had gone to the Emgrand Group that morning, but none of them believed she could pull it off. They were all waiting to see her make a fool of herself. They were surprised to see her back so soon. When Claire and Charlie walked into the meeting room, they were met with a wave of sarcasm. Harold said smugly, "Oh, Claire, you're back in just half an hour? Did you even make it past the front door of the Emgrand Group?" His sister Wendy also sneered, "Wow, Claire, you failed in less than a record, right?" Miss Wilson's expression was admittedly a tough one. Even if Claire failed to close the deal, she should have at least been thorough, right? It made her furious that she would give up so quickly. So, Mrs. Wilson stared at her and said coldly, "Claire, you have disappointed me greatly." Charlie frowned. This family was unbelievable. They didn't even bother to ask what happened. They just jumped straight to mocking her. Especially that jerk Harold. Who did he think he was? He would be doing some groveling later. Claire had been so excited, but now their words felt like a bucket of cold water. Anger flared in her heart. "I'm sorry to disappoint you all," she said, her voice sharp. "Doris Young from the Emgrand Group and I have already negotiated the project partnership." "What? You closed the deal? Impossible. How is that possible? You couldn't even get in to see Doris." Everyone was stunned. Do you really think we're going to believe that? Harold recovered from his shock, slammed his hand on the table, and shouted angrily, "Doris Young is one of the top business minds in the city." Harold scoffed. "Why would she ever meet with you? Who do you even think you are?" Ignoring their doubts and accusations, Claire simply pulled out the contract and handed it to Mrs. Wilson. "This is the project contract from the Imgrand Group. Please take a look." The contract was like a bombshell, and the atmosphere in the room instantly exploded. Harold still refused to believe it. "This has to be a fake. It's a forged contract. There's no way she could land a deal with the Imgrand Group." "Exactly," Wendy chimed in, adding fuel to the fire. "How could she get a contract from the Imgrand Group? This is a $30 million project. If anyone was capable of getting it, it would have been me." Claire sneered. "You're wrong, cousin. This contract isn't for $30 million. It's for $60 million. "Yeah, right," Wendy scoffed. "A $60 million contract? Aren't you embarrassed even saying that? Do you think we're idiots? If you can sign for $60 million, then I can sign for $100 million," Harold added with a scowl. "Claire, you're playing grandma and the rest of us for fools." He then turned to Mrs. Wilson. "Grandma, this is a complete betrayal. You can't let her get away with this." Mrs. Wilson gritted her teeth in anger. She already thought the $30 million figure was nonsense. Now, after just half an hour, Claire had come back claiming she'd signed for $60 million? Was she trying to make a fool of her in front of everyone? Was her position as head of the family just for show? If she couldn't get rid of this shameless girl, how could she possibly maintain her authority? Furious, Mrs. Wilson slammed her hand on the table and shouted, "Claire, go to HR and file your resignation immediately." Claire was stunned. Were these people insane? She showed them the contract. How could they still not believe her? Just then, someone in the room suddenly yelled, "Holy crap! The Imgrand Group just released an official statement. The $60 million contract is real." That shout stunned everyone. Immediately, they all pulled out their phones and scrambled to check the Imgrand Group's official social media. It was real. The Imgrand Group's official account had just posted an update. The post announced that the $2 billion hotel project had signed its first partner. The group's vice chairman, Doris Young, and a representative from Oris Hill's Wilson family, Claire, had signed a $60 million decoration contract. Seeing the headline, everyone went crazy. Claire had actually landed the project, and the amount had doubled. It had only been a little over half an hour. How was that even possible? It made no sense. Harold was floored, and a wave of regret washed over him. Before today, Claire was nothing compared to him in terms of status or identity. If he had just accepted the task yesterday, whether he succeeded or not, he never would have given Claire this chance to steal the spotlight. But he had turned it down because he was afraid of failing. It wasn't just that he refused it. The worst part was that Claire actually did it. It was a total slap in the face. Mrs. Wilson immediately snatched up the contract, reading it carefully, and began to laugh with excitement. Amazing! Just amazing! Claire, you've done a wonderful thing for this family. After a moment, she asked, "How did you do it?" Claire replied, "It's all thanks to Miss Doris. She's very optimistic about our Wilson family. In truth, Claire wanted to tell them what really happened, but she didn't know who the chairman of the M. Grand Group was, and she figured no one would believe her anyway, so she dropped the idea. Hearing this, Harold felt even sicker to his stomach. He wished the ground would just swallow him whole. So that's why she got the contract. Doris Young actually thinks highly of the Wilson family. That means anyone could have gone. He'd really missed out. Just then, Charlie spoke up. "Harold, do you remember our little bet?" Harold's face twisted up like he'd just eaten something rotten. Of course he remembered the bet. If he lost, he'd have to get down on his knees and do some serious scraping in front of everyone. Claire had the contract, which meant he'd lost. No way! How could he get down on his knees for this piece of trash? Not a chance! So he gritted his teeth and shot back, "Charlie, who do you think you are? You're just a freeloader who lives in our house and eats our scraps. You really expect me to get on my knees for you?" Charlie replied calmly, "I am just a good-for-nothing. But we made an oath yesterday. If anyone backs out, may their father, mother, and grandparents all drop dead." Charlie deliberately put a heavy emphasis on the words, "grandparents all drop dead." Just as he intended, Mrs. Wilson's face instantly turned stone cold. She glared at Harold and asked in a chilling voice, "What was that? Are you wishing death on me?" Harold panicked. "Grandma, don't let Charlie trick you," he blurted out. "He's just trying to humiliate me and you." Charlie said calmly, "Harold, stop trying to fool Grandma. Don't forget, you're the one who made that sacred vow. If you back out now, you'll be cursed by God. Are you really going to curse your own grandmother?" Terrified, Harold blurted out, "Grandma, you can't be serious." Mrs. Wilson's face was like ice. "You know I am a devout Christian. You swore an oath before God. How dare you break your promise?" "Grandma," Harold pleaded, truly panicking now. He could see that she was furious. Mrs. Wilson saw that Harold was willing to breath, all just to protect his own pride. She slammed her hand on the table and shouted angrily, "Are you determined to go back on your word?" "Grandma, Harold froze, his mind racing. If he honored the bet and did his bowing and scraping to Charlie, he'd lose face completely. But if he broke his promise and angered his grandmother, he would lose everything he had in the Wilson family. Thinking of this, even though every fiber of his being was against it, he could only grit his teeth and say, "Okay, I'm willing to do it." Charlie looked at him with a smirk, saying nothing. He just waited for Harold to get on his knees. Harold felt like his legs were filled with lead as he slowly, painstakingly made his way over to Charlie. He was shaking with rage, his teeth clenched, but his legs gave out and he knelt on the ground with a thud. The others in the room quietly pulled out their phones. Harold lowered his head and said in a trembling voice, "I was wrong." After he finished, he bent forward and touched his head to the floor. Charlie said, "What was that? I didn't hear you. Speak up." Swallowing his humiliation, Harold bowed his head again. "I was wrong," Charlie sneered. "Oh, so you were wrong. What exactly were you wrong about?" The desire to kill Charlie was overwhelming, but he still had one more bow to make. So, he just gritted his teeth and said, "I was wrong to doubt Claire's ability." After speaking, he bowed his head to the ground one last time. Charlie felt incredibly satisfied. He couldn't stand Harold, and he seized the opportunity to make him kneel and bow. It felt amazing. Claire watched all of this in astonishment, feeling as if her husband had suddenly become a completely different person. She couldn't quite put her finger on what it was, not right away. But thinking back to the bet her husband made with Harold yesterday, it seemed like he knew all along that he was going to win. Where did he get that kind of confidence? After Harold finished, tears of humiliation welled up in his eyes. But he didn't dare to step out of line right then. He knew his grandma must be incredibly disappointed in him. At this point, he couldn't risk saying anything else to make her angrier. Mrs. Wilson saw that Harold had admitted his mistake, and she felt a bit of relief. She didn't want her grandson kneeling to Charlie, but the thing was, that terrible oath was tied to her own life. She was a devout Christian, and if Harold didn't follow through, she was afraid she'd have trouble sleeping and eating, terrified of some kind of divine punishment. So she looked at Harold and said lightly, "Harold, let these 3 bows be a little lesson for you. Don't go around making bets you can't be sure you'll win. And if you do bet, don't drag your family into it." Harold said, his face grim, "I know, Grandma. It won't happen again." As he spoke, his eyes shot a venomous glare at Charlie. He was thinking about what a piece of trash Charlie was for forcing him to kneel, making him lose face. He vowed to himself that he would kill him for it, sooner or later. Then Mrs. Wilson spoke up. "It's wonderful that we won this contract today. Everyone needs to get to work immediately. We have to use this opportunity to build a strong relationship with the Emgrand Group." Charlie chimed in from the side. "Grandma, since Claire was the one who secured the deal, shouldn't the position of company director go to her?" Mrs. Wilson's eyebrows shot up, and she couldn't help but have second thoughts. She had said that whoever got the contract could be the director. However, the thought of Claire, whom she had never liked, and her good-for-nothing, irritating husband, made her change her tune. If she promoted Claire, and Claire was no longer under her thumb, what would happen? At that moment, she wanted to take back her promise. After all, she hadn't made some life-or-death oath about it, so she could do it with a clear conscience. However, she knew she couldn't say that right after Claire had just landed the massive contract, so she found a convenient way to stall. "Well, tomorrow night, I'll host a banquet and invite all the important people in Oris Hill. Then, in front of everyone, I will announce our partnership with the Emgrand Group and the appointment of the new director." Hearing this, Charlie felt a wave of relief and satisfaction. Claire smiled softly. It seemed the director position was finally hers. She wouldn't have to worry about being pushed around anymore, and her parents could finally hold their heads high. Mrs. Wilson turned to Claire and said, "Claire, there's one more thing I need your help with." Claire quickly replied, "Of course, Grandma. What is it?" Mrs. Wilson said, "I want you to contact the chairman of the Emgrand Group and invite him to the banquet tomorrow." After a pause, Mrs. Wilson added with an expectant look, "If he comes to our banquet, it would be a massive coup for our family. It would really put the Wilson family on the map." Claire thought for a moment, then hesitated. "But when I went last time, I only met Doris, the vice chairwoman. I never met the chairman himself. Besides, we just landed this project. Isn't holding a banquet like this a little aggressive?" "So what?" Mrs. Wilson retorted. "I want everyone in Oros Hill to know that we're tied to a powerhouse like the Emgrand Group now. This is how the Wilson family is going to grow. Even if the chairman can't make it, it's fine to just invite Doris. She's the second in command at the Emgrand Group, and having her there would be a huge boost to our reputation." At this point, Mrs. Wilson was practically giddy. The thought that the powerful families who once wouldn't give them the time of day might one day have to come to them for favors filled her with a rush of excitement. The Wilson family, under her leadership, was going to be more magnificent than ever. Claire considered this for a moment before replying hesitantly, "I understand. I'll try." "This isn't about trying. You must get an invitation accepted." Claire nodded meekly, then quietly turned to Charlie. "What am I going to do? What if the chairman doesn't come? What if Doris doesn't want to come either?" Charlie laughed and said, "Just try it. You have Doris's number, right? Who knows? Maybe she'll say yes the moment you call. He thought about the upcoming banquet. It was a chance to show off the Wilson family's new status, but more importantly, Claire would be announced as the new director. His wife was getting a promotion, and he was proud to be her husband. Claire, of course, had no idea her husband was the very chairman they were talking about. She sighed, conflicted. He's the chairman of the Emgrand Group, she said, and they say he's the heir to the Eastcliff Wade family. Why would someone like that ever come to our little banquet? Charlie smiled and said, You never know. Maybe he's just a regular guy who likes to stay home with his wife, cooking and doing the laundry. Claire shot him an annoyed look. You think everyone is just like you? Charlie nodded. Yeah, it's very likely the head of the Emgrand Group is exactly like me. Claire scoffed and muttered under her breath. Get real. How could that even be possible? Knowing Charlie was just joking, Claire paid him no mind. She stepped aside and dialed Doris's number. The call connected quickly. Doris's cheerful voice came through. Miss Claire, hello! Hello, Miss Young. I was hoping I could ask for your help with something, Claire said, a little embarrassed. Of course! What is it? Doris replied. Claire gathered her thoughts, took a deep breath, and bravely asked, I was wondering if the chairman is free tomorrow night. We're hosting a banquet to officially announce our partnership with the Emgrand Group, and we were hoping the chairman might honor us with his presence. Doris was quiet for a moment before replying, Miss Claire, I can't make that decision for him, but I can certainly ask for you. Claire said respectfully, Thank you. I would really appreciate that. After hanging up, Claire clutched her phone anxiously, waiting for a call back. Just then, Charlie's cell phone rang. Charlie's eyes widened. He mentally kicked himself. He'd forgotten to put his phone on silent. It had to be Doris, calling to ask his opinion. Charlie composed himself, answered the phone, and said casually, Yeah? Doris's voice came through. Chairman, the Wilson family is hosting a banquet tomorrow night. Would you like to attend? Charlie replied, Oh, that. Yeah, fine, I'll go. With that, he quickly hung up and mumbled, These telemarketers are so annoying. Claire didn't suspect a thing. A moment later, her phone rang again. It was Doris. Miss Claire, our chairman has agreed. He said he'll be there. Really? That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your help, and please thank the chairman for me. Claire was suddenly overcome with excitement. She couldn't believe he had actually agreed. Claire rushed over to Mrs. Wilson. Grandma, the chairman of the Emgrand Group agreed. He's coming. Really? Mrs. Wilson was suddenly ecstatic. She immediately turned to the Wilson family members in the room and commanded, Get everything ready. Book the best hotel, order the finest food and drinks, and prepare to welcome the Emgrand chairman. And another thing, she added, send invitations to every major company in the city. Let them know that the chairman of the Emgrand Group will be there. In an instant, the entire Wilson family was a flurry of activity. Everyone was buzzing with excitement, calling various business partners and the most influential figures in Oris Hill City. This was, without a doubt, a game changer. Soon the news had spread all over Oris Hill. The mysterious new chairman of the Emgrand Group was going to make an appearance at the Wilson family's banquet tomorrow. Mrs. Wilson fielded countless calls, answering every one with a smile. She was overjoyed. After tomorrow's banquet, the Wilson family would be the most talked-about family in Oris Hill City. Thinking about it made her smile with excitement. All right, that's enough for today. Start preparing for the banquet. This meeting is adjourned. After the meeting ended, Mrs. Wilson went back to her office. Harold, rolling his eyes, followed right behind her. Grandma, are you really going to make Claire the director? Harold asked bluntly as soon as they were alone. Mrs. Wilson's brow furrowed. She said coldly, I already promised Claire. Why shouldn't I give her the position? Harold pushed back. Grandma, you can't let her be the director. And why not? Mrs. Wilson retorted. She landed us a huge contract. She's the hero of this company, and she's earned it, Harold said quickly. The only reason Claire got the M. Grant contract is because Wendell from the Jones family was helping her. I heard he went to her house yesterday, and then, surprise, surprise, the M. Grant Group signs with us today. What a coincidence! I'm telling you, it's because she slept with him. Mrs. Wilson's expression darkened. Is what you're saying true? Harold insisted. Of course it's true. Wendell definitely went to see Claire last night. You can ask around and find out for yourself. Then Harold added, Grandma, she's a married woman. If word gets out about her and Wendell, people will say the Wilson family only got the M. Grant Group contract because of that. What would that do to our family's reputation? To your reputation? Mrs. Wilson frowned. Deep down, she already believed most of it. She knew Wendell had a thing for Claire. On her birthday, he'd given her a lucky charm he claimed was worth $3 or $4 million. That would certainly explain how Claire managed to land a $60 million contract. Harold pressed on. If you make a shameless woman like that the director, our reputation will be destroyed. We have to pick someone else for the job, and then we can give them the credit for landing this deal. It should be a man. That's the best way to avoid any more rumors. Mrs. Wilson nodded slowly. She was almost completely convinced. Looked at this way, she really did have to pick another director to put an end to the rumors. If people started saying that the contract was because of Claire and Wendell, she could just point to a new director and claim they were the one who secured the deal. That way, no one could say the family relied on Claire selling herself. Besides, Mrs. Wilson had her own selfish reasons. She'd never liked Claire. She had always favored the men in the family over the women, and she didn't want to see Claire gain any more power or influence. She had to keep Claire in her place to make sure the Wilson family's assets wouldn't fall into the hands of an outsider. Thinking of this, she made up her mind. So she looked at Harold and said coldly, Harold, from now on you'll listen to me. You'll do what I ask you to do, and you won't do anything I forbid. Do you understand? Harold immediately answered with devotion. Grandma, don't worry. From now on, what you say goes. I'll do anything you tell me to. Good. Mrs. Wilson nodded, satisfied. At the banquet tomorrow, I will tell everyone that you are the new director and that you're fully responsible for the partnership with the M. Grant Group. But you must remember to be obedient. I can make you, and I can break you. Harold was ecstatic and quickly promised, Grandma, don't worry. I will be. I'll be completely obedient. When she walked out of the Wilson Group office, Claire was ecstatic. Tomorrow, her grandma would officially announce her new appointment, and she could finally be proud of herself. Thinking about it, she couldn't help but say to Charlie, Charlie, thank you. If it wasn't for your encouragement, I never would have dared to take this on. Charlie smiled. You deserve it, honey. Then he added, By the way, honey, shouldn't we celebrate something this big? Claire nodded. How do you want to celebrate? Charlie smiled. Well, our 3rd wedding anniversary is coming up soon, so let's celebrate both at once. I'll handle all the plans, so you don't have to worry about a thing. Claire asked, Are you planning a surprise for me? Yep. Charlie nodded and smiled. I want to do something really special for you. A warm feeling spread through Claire's chest. Okay, she said. Then I won't ask you what it is. Don't ask, Charlie said. Just wait. To prepare a special wedding anniversary for his wife, Charlie started brainstorming. The main theme was making it up to her. After all, he'd been so poor back then that he couldn't afford to buy her gifts, and they never even had a proper wedding. Now that he had money, he was determined to make it right. After he and Claire went their separate ways for the day, Charlie headed to a jewelry store called Rare Earth in the heart of Orris Hill. Rare Earth was the most famous jewelry store in the region. Gold, platinum, diamonds, and jade, you name it, they had it. Charlie wanted to buy a gift for his wife first, and then go to the best hotel to book a belated wedding celebration. When he arrived at Rare Earth, the sales associates took one look at his cheap, knockoff branded tracksuit and didn't even bother to greet him. Charlie looked around for a while and saw a diamond necklace locked in a display case. The necklace was made from the highest quality diamond, a flawless stone, and its elegant style seemed like a perfect match for Claire's personality. Charlie glanced at the price tag. $13 million. To him, it was nothing. So he motioned to a salesperson. "Excuse me," he said. "Could you take this necklace out so I can take a look?" The salesman glanced at Charlie's clothes and said, "I don't have the key. It's with my manager." After speaking, he used his walkie-talkie. "Manager Jane, someone wants to see our showpiece." A moment later, a striking woman hurried over, looking excited. Her name was Jane, and she was the sales manager. "Who is the special guest who wants to see our showpiece?" The salesman, Leo Thorne, pointed to Charlie. "Manager Jane, it's this gentleman right here." "What?" When Jane saw Charlie, her face soured as if she'd just swallowed a fly. How could a bum like this possibly afford their showpiece? With that thought, she immediately turned to the salesman. "Leo, are you kidding me?" He replied, "No, the gentleman really wants to see it." Jane snapped, "Can a guy like that afford our showpiece? Can't you see? If you can't, just tell me now and I'll find someone to replace you." Jane prided herself on being an excellent judge of character. She believed she could size up a person's financial status in a single glance. So, she had already decided that Charlie was just some poor loser. Forget the $13 million showpiece. She was sure he couldn't even afford a simple $1,300 necklace. This was a complete waste of her time. Leo didn't dare say another word. Charlie frowned and asked her directly, "Aren't you open for business? I want to see this necklace. What's the problem?" Jane sneered. "We're open for business, but not for broke people just looking to waste our time. If you can't afford it, don't bother looking." Charlie's frown deepened. "And what makes you so sure I can't afford it?" Jane just laughed. Jane said disdainfully, "This necklace costs millions of dollars. What are you going to buy it with? I know your type. You just want me to take it out so you can snap a picture for your social media, right?" As she spoke, Jane crossed her arms, her nose in the air, her face a mask of contempt. Hearing the price tag, many of the other customers started pointing and whispering. Some people have no shame. Can't afford it, but still wants to waste everyone's time looking. Exactly. And look at his clothes. There's no way he could ever own something like that. I'm telling you, you see guys like this all the time, just trying to look important. Charlie glanced at Jane behind the counter, who was sneering at him. He decided right then and there that he was going to put this snob in her place. So, Charlie pulled out his phone and dialed Stephen Thompson's number. "Come to Rare Earth. Give me $13 million in cash. I want to see it in 10 minutes. "No problem, young master. I'm on my way." Jane smirked. "Wow, you're really committed to the act, aren't you? $13 million in cash? I've never seen that much cash in my entire life. I'd love to see it. Don't you know you have to schedule a withdrawal with the bank for that much money? You're hilarious." Charlie just nodded. "Since you've never seen that much cash, you're about to."
The people around were all talking. It's one thing to be poor, but it's another to be all talk. This guy doesn't look rich at all. He's talking about $13 million? I'll be impressed if he can even pull out $300,000. I just want to see what $13 million in cash actually looks like. Hearing everyone on her side, Jane couldn't help but smile. When the cash didn't show up, she couldn't wait to see how this loser would get out of it. A few minutes later, several luxury cars pulled up to the entrance of Rare Earth. Then, from the first two cars, 8 bodyguards in black suits emerged. Each one carried a black leather briefcase. Their muscles were tensed, their faces grim, and they carried an air of cold, dangerous professionalism that seemed to chill the air around them. The sight stunned everyone in Rare Earth. Who is this VIP to warrant such a grand entrance? The grand display left Jane stunned. Could this loser really have made that call? She thought. But she quickly dismissed it. No way! A bum like him couldn't possibly know someone this powerful. Stephen stepped out of the third car and strode into Rare Earth. Jane quickly moved to greet him, but Stephen didn't even glance her way. He walked straight to Charlie. "Master, I'm here," Stephen said, "and I brought the cash." With a wave of his hand, the bodyguards entered the store. They placed the briefcases on the floor and snapped them open. They were packed to the brim with stacks of cash. The crowd... Holy crap! That guy wasn't bluffing! Damn, who is this dude? People immediately pulled out their phones, trying to record the unbelievable scene. But Stephen's bodyguards quickly stepped in, blocking their view. The most anyone could capture was the back of Charlie's head. Charlie pointed to the cash on the floor. He turned to Jane. "Ever seen this much money before?" "You have now." Jane could only nod. "Yes, I see it." Charlie turned to Stephen. "I want to speak to the owner of this store." Stephen nodded, pulled out his phone, and made a quick call. The moment it connected, he spoke into the phone in a, "Listen to me. This is Stephen. I'm at your store, Rare Earth. You have 1 minute to get your ass down here. If you're not here, I'll have my men burn this place to the ground. And after that, I'll have them break both your legs." Jane's face went white with terror. She could see the cold fury in Stephen's eyes. Was this man really that powerful? Her own boss was a major player in Oris Hill, a man with connections and influence, someone nobody dared to cross. Who would have the nerve to speak to him like that? Less than a minute later, a portly, middle-aged man scrambled out of the back office. The moment he saw Stephen, he hurried over. "Mr. Thompson, you came to my shop. If you had told me in advance, I would have been here to greet you properly." Stephen slapped him hard across the face. "You've got some nerve," he snarled. "Your employee dares to disrespect our young master. Do you have a death wish?" Stephen knew the young master had suffered a great deal over the last 10 years. Seeing him being slighted by a mere clerk infuriated him. The middle-aged man, still reeling from the slap, was initially confused, but when he heard Stephen's words, his mind went blank with shock. Stephen's young master? Holy crap! Stephen was a true phoenix among men. Doesn't that make his young master a god? His legs started to tremble uncontrollably. He turned his head and saw Charlie standing beside Stephen. He looked like a regular guy, but he was the young master of the family that Stephen served. The realization sent a fresh wave of terror through the fat man. He quickly said, "Master, I am so sorry. I apologize." Then he spun around, his face filled with rage, and screamed, "Which one of you blind idiots offended the young master? Step forward now!" Instantly, every other sales associate's eyes landed on Jane. Jane tried to shrink back, wanting to disappear, but the man lunged at her, grabbing her by the collar. He pushed her hard and yelled, "You worthless girl! Ha! How dare you offend the master? You must be blind." The push sent Jane sprawling to the floor. "Boss, I'm sorry," she cried. "I was unaware. Please, just this once, spare me." "Huh, spare you?" The man grabbed a fistful of her hair, yanking her head up. "You idiot! Are you trying to get me killed? You want me dead? I'll kill you first." Crying, she managed to break free from the man's grip. She scrambled on her hands and knees to Charlie's side, grabbing his leg. "Mr. Wade, I know I was wrong," she sobbed. I'll never look down on anyone ever again. Please, forgive me." Charlie said coldly, "You brought this on yourself." When the man saw her clinging to Charlie's leg, he panicked. He ran over and kicked her. "You dare touch the young master's leg?" he screamed. "I'll kill you." The man turned to a nearby security guard. "Get this useless trash out of my sight. Throw her in the dumpster out back." "Yes, boss." The security guards wasted no time. They immediately dragged Jane out of the store. With a blank expression, Charlie turned to the man. "My wife likes that diamond. Please wrap it up for me." "Of course," the man said, nodding quickly. "I'll wrap it right away." Charlie took out the premium card. "Use this." Then he turned to Stephen. "You can take the cash back." The man quickly interjected. "Mr. Wade, you like this diamond. Please, accept it as a small gift from me." "I don't need you to do that," Charlie said flatly. "Mr. Wade, please," the man pleaded. "It's just a small token. Please accept it." Stephen leaned into Charlie. "Mr. Wade, since he's offering it as an apology, you should probably take it. Otherwise, he won't be able to sleep tonight." Charlie hesitated for a moment, then gave a slight nod. "Fine. In that case, thank you." Seeing Charlie accept the diamond necklace, the man let out a huge sigh of relief. If Charlie had refused, he was terrified Stephen would have held it against him. A man with his power could ruin him with a snap of his fingers. Just then, Stephen asked Charlie, "Mr. Wade, would you like me to give you a ride?" "No," Charlie said, waving his hand dismissively. "Where's the back door? I'll go by myself." The onlookers had seen something truly incredible today. Several luxury cars had delivered $13 million in cash, all just to buy a piece of diamond. And in the end, the owner of Rare Earth hadn't even dared to take the money. Who was this unassuming young man? Many people uploaded videos of the incident, and it quickly went viral. Online, people were calling the mysterious man the super-rich second generation. He was given nicknames like the Mystery Tycoon and God-tier billionaire. It even kicked off a viral challenge to find the God-tier billionaire, and tons of people joined in. But luckily for him, by the time people were filming, he and his group were already surrounded by bodyguards and being escorted out. The video footage was too blurry and chaotic to make out his face, making it impossible to use as a real lead. After leaving Rare Earth, Charlie didn't go straight home. He wanted to give his wife the ultimate surprise for their wedding anniversary. This surprise wasn't just about the diamond necklace. He also wanted to give his wife the romantic wedding they never had. At the request of Grandpa Wilson, Charlie and Claire had rushed to get their marriage license, but they never got around to having an actual wedding. The old man himself had wanted to pick the perfect day for them to have a big ceremony. But right after they got the license, he fell seriously ill and was admitted to the hospital. The wedding had to be postponed. After he passed away, and with no one in the Wilson family respecting Charlie, a wedding became completely out of the question. But now that he had money, he was determined to give his wife the wedding she deserved. When he thought about where to hold the wedding, the first place that came to mind was the Sky Garden at the Aurelius Grand. The Aurelius Grand was currently the best hotel in Oros Hill. The hotel was massive. The decor was incredibly luxurious, and it even had a huge, high-end shopping mall inside. The Sky Garden was on the top floor of the mall. It was called the Sky Garden because it was built entirely out of crystal glass. Paired with exotic, fresh flowers flown in from all over the world, it looked like a rooftop garden suspended in mid-air. It was also the most magnificent and luxurious banquet hall in all of Oros Hill. Holding a wedding here would cost at least a few $1 million. Charlie was rich now, so a few million was nothing to him. As long as he could make his wife happy, that was more important than anything. So he went to the Aurelius Grand, intending to reserve the Sky Garden for their anniversary. However, Charlie didn't know that the Aurelius Grand operated on a membership system. Whether you were dining, staying, or holding an event there, you had to be a member. And different membership tiers offered different levels of service. Ordinary members could only eat in the main restaurant and stay in standard rooms. Silver members could eat in private dining rooms and stay in high-end luxury rooms. Gold members got the deluxe private dining rooms and could stay in luxury suites. Platinum members were allowed to dine at the Sky Garden and stay in the top-tier luxury suites. And at the very top were the Diamond members. Only Diamond members were allowed to stay in the Presidential Suite, and only they could book the entire Sky Garden for a private banquet. Plus, for memberships above the gold level, you can't just buy your way in. You have to have some serious social standing. Charlie walked up to the Aurelius Grand, but before he could even get through the door, a couple of security guards in black suits stopped him. "Sorry, sir. Can I see your membership card?" Charlie's entire outfit probably wasn't worth $200, which made him stick out like a sore thumb next to the other guests in their fancy, expensive clothes. Charlie said quickly, "I'm here to see your events manager. I need to talk about booking a reservation." The guard replied coldly, "Sorry, you can't enter without a membership card." Charlie asked, "Well, can I apply for a membership card right now?" The guard shook his head. "Sorry, membership is by referral only." Charlie frowned. This place was a real pain. Just when he was about to give up, he suddenly remembered something. Back when Mr. Wilson had arranged for him to attend Oris Hill University, there was a classmate of his named Sabrina Morgan. He was pretty sure she worked here. So he pulled out his phone and called Sabrina. He quickly explained that he needed help getting a membership, and Sabrina immediately said, "Wade, say no more, I'm on it. I'll be right there." Charlie quickly thanked her. It looked like that 1 year as classmates meant something after all. He'd have to make sure to repay the favor someday. "Oh, Wade!" A few minutes later, a woman's voice called out from the hotel entrance. He looked up and saw a woman in stylish office attire and heavy makeup walking toward him with a confident sway. Sabrina? The change was unbelievable. He almost didn't recognize her. Seeing the glamorous woman, the two security guards at the door straightened up and greeted her respectfully. "Manager Sabrina." Charlie said, "Sabrina, I haven't seen you in years. You're a manager at the Aurelius Grand now? That's incredible." Sabrina smiled and said, "You're too kind. I'm just a manager in the Human Resources Department, really. I'm basically just middle management here at the Aurelius Grand." Charlie exclaimed sincerely, "That's still a huge deal. I hear it's super tough to move up here. You're killing it." Sabrina beamed, clearly pleased with herself. Then she turned to the two security guards beside her and asked coldly, "Did you two really just block my old classmate at the door and refuse to let him in?" The two men looked at each other, and one of them quickly said, "I'm sorry, Manager Sabrina. We didn't know he was your classmate, and he doesn't have a membership card. We were just following the hotel's rules." Sabrina snorted. "Rules are just guidelines. You have to use your head. Don't you get that?" Charlie, thinking Sabrina was about to punish them, quickly stepped in. "Sabrina, don't give them a hard time. They were just doing their jobs." Looking at Charlie, Sabrina suddenly burst out laughing. Her face twisted into a sneer as she said, "Wade, you really think you're that important? You actually thought I was going to get my own people in trouble for you?" Charlie frowned. "Sabrina, what are you talking about?" "What am I talking about?" Sabrina's lips curled into a cruel smile. "Isn't it obvious? Someone like you, trying to get into the Aurelius Grand? Let me tell you, it's not happening. Not in this lifetime." Charlie clenched his fists and asked her, "What the hell is your problem?" "I'm messing with you." Sabrina laughed, a nasty edge to her voice. "Back in college, I couldn't stand you. You were just some broke loser, eating cheap cornbread from the cafeteria, and you had the nerve to be class president? Lecturing me about my grades? Give me a break. Look at yourself. Charlie's expression darkened. Sabrina, I don't think I ever did anything to you. Why are you attacking me like this? Sabrina crossed her arms and said proudly, Yeah, I look down on you. So what? Am I not allowed to say it? Everyone from college knew you went to live with your wife's family after graduation. You were too broke to eat in school, and now you're living off their scraps. And you have the nerve to come here and ask me for help? A surge of anger went through Charlie. He lived by a simple rule. You don't mess with him, he won't mess with you. Sabrina had gone way too far this time. Just then, his phone buzzed with a text from Stephen. Mr. Wade, the Aurelius Grand is a property of the Wade Group. The Aurelius Grand here in Oris Hill is just one of our more than 100 hotels. Charlie's eyes widened. The Aurelius Grand belonged to the Wade family? He quickly texted back, You're not messing with me, are you? Stephen replied, The person in charge of the Aurelius Grand in Oris Hill is named Isaac Craven. His phone number is 155. You call him, and he will take care of everything. Is everything okay? Seeing Charlie staring down at his phone, texting, made Sabrina annoyed. She felt like she was trying to get a rise out of him, and she wanted a reaction. But to her surprise, Charlie didn't say a word. It seemed that this class president, who was so stubborn back in college, was still just as stubborn, completely ignoring her insults. So she decided to up the ante, sneering, Oh, Wade, you can really take it, can't you? By the way, I heard people say that you and Claire have been married for 3 years, but you don't even sleep in the same bed. Could it be that Claire is seeing someone else? Are you just her cover story? Is that it? Charlie frowned. Insulting him was one thing, but insulting his wife? Sabrina, you're asking for trouble. So, he dialed Isaac Craven's number, looked at Sabrina, and said coolly, I'd like to ask your boss about the hotel's hiring process. Do you really recruit people with such filthy mouths? How dare you talk to me like that? Do you have a death wish? Sabrina completely lost it and shouted at the security guard beside her. He's insulting me! Beat him up! By this time, Charlie had the phone to his ear. Yeah? Who's this? A man's commanding voice came through the line. Charlie asked, coldly, Are you Isaac Craven? My name is Charlie Wade. I'm at the front door of the Aurelius Grand right now. I'll give you 1 minute to get down here, or you can start packing your bags. The man on the phone, who had sounded so authoritative just a moment ago, suddenly stammered. Young Master Wade, are you really at the door of the Aurelius Grand? Charlie said coldly. You have 50 seconds left. The other man sounded terrified and blurted out, Wait a minute, I'll be right there. Sabrina let out a bitter, sarcastic laugh at Charlie's phone call. Charlie, I didn't realize you were such a big talker. Do you have any idea who Mr. Craven is? Even the highest level members of the Aurelius Grand wouldn't dare speak to him like that. You think you can fool me by pretending to make a call? Charlie said lightly. Am I bluffing? You'll know in 30 seconds. Sabrina laughed loudly. Okay, Charlie, I'll wait with you for 30 seconds. You know what? I'll wait with you for 3 minutes. If he doesn't show up in 3 minutes, I'll have security wipe that smirk right off your face. We'll see how much you brag then. You're a real comedian. 20 seconds. A middle-aged man in a high-end custom suit ran out of the hotel in a panic. He was a powerful man, loyal to the Wade family. Since he took over as the head of the Aurelius Grand in Oris Hill, he had become one of the most respected men in the city. When had he ever been so flustered? But he had every reason to panic. He never dreamed that the young master would show up at the very hotel he managed. Sabrina was about to mock Charlie again when she suddenly noticed the security guards beside her staring in horror at something behind her. When she turned her head, she saw Mr. Craven running out of the hotel. She froze, completely stunned. Her eyes, wide with horror, snapped to Charlie. How is this possible? Who is Mr. Charlie? Isaac's voice trembled. The people watching were shocked. Mr. Craven, a man so powerful he could shake up all of Oris Hill with a single command, sounded completely panicked. Charlie spoke up. That would be me. Isaac rushed forward, bowed low, and started to say, Master. Before he could finish, Charlie cut him off. Mr. Craven, let's not talk about that out here. Hearing this, Isaac's whole body trembled. He was such an idiot. The young master's identity was supposed to be a secret, and he had almost shouted it for everyone to hear. If the young master held that against him, he'd be finished. He quickly corrected himself, his tone still deeply respectful. Mr. Charlie, welcome to the Aurelius Grand. Please, let's go to my office to talk. Sabrina was terrified. She couldn't accept what was happening, but it was unfolding right in front of her. Who was Charlie? How could the boss of the Aurelius Grand treat him with such respect? She had just ridiculed him. He was definitely going to hold a grudge, wasn't he? Thinking fast, Sabrina put on a flattering smile and cooed at Charlie. Mr. Charlie, it's such an honor for all of us at the Aurelius Grand, and for me to have you here. It's so great to see an old classmate. She thought a little flattery would make him forget what she'd just done. She had seriously underestimated Charlie. When Isaac heard Sabrina's words, he asked in, Sabrina, you and Mr. Charlie are classmates? Yes, we are, Sabrina said quickly. Charlie was the class president back in college. We were really close, Isaac said immediately. I'll inform the head office tomorrow. You're the new director of human resources for the Aurelius Grand. From manager to director of human resources was a leap of at least 3 levels. The pay was more than 10 times what she made now, and she'd have power over almost every employee's career. She would be a top executive. When Sabrina heard this, she was so excited she nearly fainted. Just then, Charlie said, coldly, Mr. Craven, do you know what my relationship with Sabrina is really like? Isaac thought Charlie was unhappy with the promotion and immediately said, if Mr. Charlie isn't satisfied, then we'll make Miss Sabrina the vice president. Charlie suddenly said, because I didn't have a membership card, I called Sabrina for help. But she humiliated me for no reason and even tried to have security beat me up more than once. And you want to promote her to vice president? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to go against me? Hearing this, a chill went down Isaac's spine. His attempt to suck up had backfired spectacularly. His eyes, now full of rage, locked onto Sabrina. He snarled, You dared to offend Mr. Charlie? Do you have a death wish? Sabrina's legs gave out. She collapsed to her knees, groveling and crying. Mr. Charlie, I was wrong. Isaac kicked her hard, sending her sprawling several feet away. He cursed, You arrogant fool! Today, you're going to learn the price for messing with Mr. Charlie. He turned and shouted to the security guard beside him, Drag her out of here! After that, I want you to spread the word all over Oris Hill that no company is ever to hire her again. Sabrina, terrified, cried out, Mr. Craven, I was wrong. Please forgive me. Isaac was furious. He shouted, So now you know you were wrong. Where was this apology before? How could you think you could get away with offending Mr. Wade? If it weren't for Mr. Wade's presence, I would kill you myself. Sabrina broke down completely, sobbing. She dropped to her knees and crawled over to Charlie, banging her head on the floor over and over. Mr. Wade, I was wrong. I'm so sorry. Please, for old time's sake, let this go. Charlie asked her coolly, Sabrina, why did you insult me and my wife just a few minutes ago? Sabrina wailed. I was just confused. It's my fault. I have a big mouth. Please, forgive me. Charlie said, I don't bother people who don't bother me. But if someone comes after me, I don't let it go. Then he scoffed. You made your bed. Now lie in it. Isaac snarled. You witch! You dare talk back to Mr. Wade? I'll shut that mouth of yours for good. Sabrina didn't dare to plead for mercy anymore. She just knelt there, weeping uncontrollably. Charlie didn't feel any pity for her. He just ignored her and said flatly to Isaac, I want to talk to you about the Sky Garden. Let's go to your office. Isaac nodded quickly, saying respectfully, Mr. Charlie, please come with me. Then he pointed at the nearby security guard and yelled, Get her! Yes, Mr. Craven! The security guard wouldn't dare to disobey. He nodded and immediately moved to grab Sabrina. Sabrina's wails filled the air, but Charlie paid her no mind. He followed Isaac, who was nodding and bowing the whole way, into the Aurelius Grand. As soon as they arrived at Isaac's office, Charlie got right to the point. In a few days, it's my wedding anniversary. I want to reserve the entire Sky Garden. Is that possible? Isaac replied without a moment's hesitation. Mr. Wade, to be fair to all our premium members, the Sky Garden has never allowed private bookings. We don't even make exceptions for city officials. But for you, whatever you need. If you wanted, we would reserve the garden for you and you alone, forever. Charlie said calmly, That won't be necessary. Just for the anniversary is fine. Also, I'll need your help to prepare a little surprise for my wife. Isaac said at once, Mr. Wade, don't you worry. I and the entire staff of the Aurelius Grand is at your command. Charlie had settled things at the Aurelius Grand. On the bus ride home, he noticed that almost every other passenger was on their phone, scrolling through social media. And to his surprise, they were all watching the same video. It was the viral video of someone throwing $13 million in cash at Rare Earth. The video was shot from the perspective of Steven's entourage. It showed a fleet of top-of-the-line luxury cars, a dozen security guards in black suits carrying black briefcases, and $13 million in cash being dumped on the floor. It was a humiliating spectacle for the sales manager, who had nowhere to hide as the whole thing was posted online. But the video never showed a clear shot of Charlie's face. The clip went viral all over Oris Hill. Everyone was wondering who this mysterious hero was. Girls everywhere were having their own Cinderella fantasies, dreaming of meeting this low-key Prince Charming. Charlie watched it a few times to make sure he couldn't be recognized. Satisfied, he finally relaxed and went home. When he got there, the house was filled with joy. Claire had landed the contract from the M Grand Group and was going to be made the director of the Wilson Group. Her parents were ecstatic, even crying with joy. After being looked down on by the Wilson family for so many years, she could finally hold her head high. With his in-laws so happy, even the sight of Charlie didn't seem to annoy them as much as usual. His mother-in-law said excitedly, "Oh, I'm so happy today. My daughter is truly someone special." Then she looked at Charlie and, with a rare smile, said, "Charlie, I guess you deserve some credit for this. I won't make you cook tonight. Let's go out to eat." Claire smiled and said, "Great, let's go to the Ritz for a fancy dinner." "That's too expensive," her mother blurted out. "Isn't that place like $1,000 a person?" Claire smiled and said, "Mom, a director's salary is really high. It's $1 million a year." "Oh!" Her mother-in-law clapped her hands and said happily, "That's wonderful, just wonderful. My family is finally going somewhere." Then she added, "However, You need to give at least 70% of your salary to me. You young people don't know how to manage money. It's much safer with me than with you." Claire nodded right away and smiled. "Okay, Mom, I'll give it to you every month, but on one condition. You can't keep putting Charlie down all the time, complaining about him being my husband." Her mother-in-law's eyes lit up, and she smiled widely. "Okay, deal. I care about your reputation, so I'll try to say less about him from now on." While the family of four went out for dinner at the Ritz, Wendell was sulking at home. He'd seen the news from the Grand Group, and it left him fuming. He had been so sure Claire wouldn't get the contract without his help. He never expected her to land a $60 million contract that morning. He remembered the smug things he'd said at her house yesterday. Didn't that make him look like a total fool now? Harold called to complain, launching right into it. "Wendell, you've got some nerve. I've been trying to set you up with my cousin, and you go and help her get the deal with the Grand Group? You're making me look like an idiot." Wendell was just as confused. What the hell? He hadn't helped Claire at all. Then Harold asked, "Wendell, tell me the truth. Did you sleep with my cousin?" Wendell was too embarrassed to deny it. If he admitted he had nothing to do with any of it, he'd be admitting he was completely useless. So he just mumbled, "Yeah, sorry, Harold. I'll make it up to you, I promise." "I knew it," Harold sighed, then quickly asked, "So, Wendell, was my cousin still, she never let that loser husband of hers touch her. You really hit the jackpot." A sick idea started to form in Wendell's mind. Perfect. Claire was still a virgin. He could spread a rumor that they'd slept together to drive a wedge between her and her husband. Thinking of this, he smirked and said to Harold, "Harold, you were right. It was incredible." Harold said, a little bitterly, "Well, you owe me now, Wendell. Don't forget about me." "Don't worry," Wendell agreed easily. Right after he hung up with Harold, Wendell's father called. As soon as Wendell answered, his dad blurted out, "Wendell, we have a problem. The Grand Group just cut all ties with us. Have you pissed someone off recently?" Hearing this, a chill went down Wendell's spine. The Grand Group had cut off all business with the Jones family? That meant the family was facing a massive loss. He blurted out, "What's going on, Dad?" "I haven't pissed anyone off lately. Have you?" Wendell's father said. Angrily, "Me neither. I've been at the office all week. I haven't gone out and made any enemies," Wendell said nervously. "Oh, Dad, you don't think the new chairman of the Grand Group is shaking things up, do you?" That's probably it, Wendell's father realized. With the new chairman taking over, I haven't even had a chance to introduce myself. I've tried to set something up with that woman Doris a few times, but she just keeps saying their chairman isn't taking visitors. Wendell asked, "So what do we do?" His father thought for a moment. "Wait, that's right. The Wilson family is having a banquet tomorrow night. I heard they invited the chairman of the Grand Group. We'll go and find a way to meet him there." "Okay," Wendell said immediately. "We'll go together tomorrow." The next day was the Wilson family's big night, and the entire family was buzzing with excitement. The news had been brewing all night. The Wilson family had not only landed the Grand Group contract, but had also invited the chairman to their banquet. The story had spread all over Oris Hill. For the banquet, Charlie put on the best suit he owned and headed to the hotel. Just as he got out of his car at the hotel entrance, a luxury car screeched to a halt right in front of him. A moment later, Wendell stepped out, dressed in a designer suit, his hair perfectly styled. A valet immediately rushed over to greet Wendell. Wendell clearly saw Charlie, too. A look of contempt crossed his face as he looked Charlie up and down and smirked. "Where'd you get the knockoff suit? You look ridiculous in it." Charlie asked calmly, "What's it to you?" The corner of Wendell's mouth curled into a sarcastic smirk. "You're right. You have nothing to do with me. But your wife? She has everything to do with me now." Charlie frowned. "What are you talking about?" The people nearby couldn't help but stop and watch. Since last night,
a rumor had been making the rounds. According to the rumors, Claire was only able to win the M. Grand Group's cooperation because she'd given herself to Wendell. Otherwise, with the reputation of her and the Wilson family, how could they have ever landed a deal with the N. Grand Group? Now, it was all starting to make sense. Wendell saw the crowd gathering around them and said to Charlie, "So, what do you think the real reason is that she got that contract?" Charlie looked at Wendell and asked coolly, "And what reason is that?" Wendell's mouth curled into a smirk. "It was because of me, of course. Claire is my woman now, so I pulled some strings to help her get the deal with M. Grand. If you know what's good for you, you'll divorce her. It's the right thing to do." Even though everyone nearby had already been gossiping, hearing Wendell say it so directly was still a shock. Ha ha! So it was true. Claire had actually gotten the contract by sleeping with Wendell. Because of you? Ha 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 ha! Charlie didn't get angry. He just laughed and said, "You really think you're worthy?"